They're off and racing, and historically on the inside jumped nicely with Arangi. Outside it was Shocker Tulin as they run up towards the first of 11. Pride of Kingston's up there sharing the lead, followed by Kohlrabi and Trismo behind them from Georgie's Son Crescent Ray. Lord Lonsdale's caught out wide, Laurenton's even deeper, and Raft Boy goes back to the tail. Well, Arangi's probably just in front of his former stablemate Pride of Kingston, who's now going to try and take over with Shocker Tulin, the youngest horse in the race, a 4-year-old. Historically drops in behind them to go to 4th, and then Kohlrabi, Trismo. Crescent Ray in the orange colours out wide in about 7th position, and out deeper was Just the Shape. They were followed by Laurenton, Lord Lonsdale, Karatash, 2 lengths to Raft Boy, kept wide around Georgie's Son, and Hurricane Force last of all. As they come to the next hurdle, Arangi on the inside jumped it well, lands over it just in front of Shocker Tulin, 3rd historically, easing back on the rails. Outside in Pride of Kingston, followed down on the inside by Kohlrabi, Just the Shape, and then came Crescent Ray. Then came Trismo, Lord Lonsdale, Laurenton, a length away Karatash and Raft Boy. Then Georgie's Son, and last of all was Hurricane Force. Out of the straight they go on the Email Cup hurdle with 2,200 metres to run. And Mick Patton sent Arangi to the front, led by 2 lengths, 2 historically. The favourites 1-2. A length and a half away Shocker Tulin, a half length to Kohlrabi, and then Pride of Kingston. That's Kingston Town's full brother. He's racing 5th at the moment as they go along the Maribyrnong side of the track. In 6th placing Trismo, Lord Lonsdale wide, and they were followed in the centre by Crescent Ray. Laurenton inside Just the Shape, a length and a half to Raft Boy. He'll have to work with a big weight now. Then Karatash, Georgie's Son, and 2 lengths away Hurricane Force last of all. About 1,600 metres to travel. Arangi hasn't put a foot wrong. Goes to the next jump, a length and a quarter clear of historically, who pecked a little bit on landing. 3rd Kohlrabi, and they were followed out wider on the track by Shocker Tulin. Lord Lonsdale starting to make a run. Then Trismo inside Crescent Ray, and then Pride of Kingston. Arangi walked through that one though, and then came Laurenton, well back Raft Boy, Georgie's Son, and Karatash dropped out with Hurricane Force. About 1,300 metres to travel. Arangi in front. Patton starts to quicken up the tempo. Comes to the next jump, about 2.5 lengths clear. Historically set and ridden a treat, 2.5 lengths away Kohlrabi. They were followed by Shocker Tulin, Lord Lonsdale 4th. Now Arangi got away from the rails there and historically went up the jointed, and they're out 4 or 5 to Kohlrabi, Lord Lonsdale, Shocker Tulin, a couple Pride of Kingston, Trismo, Georgie's Son, Crescent Ray, Just the Shape, Laurenton, Raft Boy running on, and Hurricane Force. At the next jump, 1,000 metres to go, a 2-horse war. Almost a bone crusher, our Waverley Star over the jumps, historically a neck in front of Arangi, and they're 10 lengths clear of Lord Lonsdale, followed by Kohlrabi. As they run up to the home turn though, they're the only 2 horses in the race before the bend. Historically the David Hayes trained animal on the inside, just there the John Leake trained Arangi. They come to the home turn in the Cup hurdle, historically a length in front of Arangi. Have they gone too early? They're 10 lengths in front of Shocker Tulin. Georgie's Son runs on, and then came Lord Lonsdale. Around the bend, 500 metres left to go. Historically still a length in front. Arangi under the whip, trying hard, and 8 lengths away. Georgie's Son at the second last, historically comes to it, gets over a length and a half in front. Arangi not done with yet. Patton throwing everything at it. Here's Raft Boy down the outside. The leaders might have gone too hard early. Historically at the last, at a length and a half. Arangi walked through it. Here's Raft Boy and Shocker Tulin. Historically in front. Arangi can't go on. Raft Boy lunging at them. Raft Boy over the top of historically. Historically fighting it for Voltridge. Raft Boy trying to get him historically in front of Raft Boy, and historically won. Historically beat Raft Boy a short half head, 3 lengths away Shocker Tulin. A great start to Cup Day. 4th in Lord Lonsdale, then Georgie's Son Arangi. A long break to Crescent Ray, and then came Hurricane Force and Trismo. Well back Kohlrabi, Pride of Kingston, and Laurenton has been last to finish, and 2 horses were pulled up down the straight. Just the Shape was one of them, and the other one was Karatash at the top of the home turn.
What a great race, and for a long way from home, the winner looked the winner, didn't he, historically? He travelled beautifully. Laurie Poultridge rode him well. I was a little bit inclined to agree with Danny. He might have made his run a little bit soon when he went up on the inside about the 900 metres to take over from Arangi, but it worked out very well. He had to take the run because it was presented a little bit early. Raft Boy, what a great run under his big weight. He's given away a big start and nearly got there, but gee, when you're on fire, you're on fire, and we can see from the 200 metres in from here that historically looked like he was going to be beaten by Raft Boy, but he just keeps fighting on historically, and it was just too good. And Shocker Tulin, I thought, was a terrific run for a horse, a 4-year-old. I think he's only had about 2 or 3 runs over the jumps, and he's definitely one to follow later.
Well, at this point, Arangi's beaten John. He's 2.5 in front, and Raft Boy, despite having 67 kilos, is really coming home hard at the end of a 2-mile race.
Yeah, but Dan, there was only a kilo between them, and, you know, historically had to go a long way from home, and all honours with the winner, but you can just see here, when your luck runs, it just hangs on, and we've seen it here on Saturday with David David Hayes, and he started off again today, eh?
Well, let's find out what he has to say. David Hayes will be in the mounting yard with Gabe Waterhouse. And David, the luck's continuing.
Continuing. Will it be 8 out of 8?
Jack Klugman.
Ah, here we are. Now, is that...
Yeah, that's Jack Klugman. Quincy there. He owns part of this horse.
Does he
and he's
really?
Very
and you brought him
excited.
all the way from America for this race?
Yeah, well, he came out and he's got another chance later in the day, so hopefully we can strike it lucky for him.
What's the other chance later in the day, David?
Above deck. He's a part owner and above deck as well, and he's at each way odds and should run a cheeky race.
Well, congratulations. I hope it's 8 out of 8.
Yeah, so do I. Thank you.
Gabe Waterhouse there with David Hayes. Well, he really is the Midas man, John, after that. I mean, gee, six winners on Saturday, and you couldn't ask to start the day better than winning the first race.